Hello, my amazing artists. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. Got some time to relax and spend time with your families. All right, we're going to start a new motto today. So repeat after me. It goes like this. I am stronger than I seem, braver than I believe, and more creative than I can imagine. Okay, boys and girls, what we're going to do today is kindergarten. We are going to be making Christmas tree ornaments, or Christmas trees, and we're going to turn them into ornaments actually. And if for some reason you don't celebrate Christmas, that's fine. You can just make yours a tree and we can put apples on it instead of ornaments, okay? This week will be the same though. In first grade, we're going to make salt dough. Remember how we made salt dough before? And we're going to turn our salt dough into pinch pots, and we're going to make those into little presents for our parents. And a pinch pot is just a little pot. It's going to have a lid, and they call them pinch pots because you actually pinch to make it. Okay, so for kindergarten, what we need today is you're going to need a paper plate. And it doesn't have to be a fancy one. It can just be a plain one. If you don't have a paper plate, you can just use a piece of paper and have a grown-up cut it into a circle, okay? You're gonna need green paint, or if you wanna get really fun, we're gonna be mixing some paint. You can get yellow and blue, because when you mix yellow and blue together, it makes green. And you will need a paintbrush. If you don't have paint at your house, just use a green marker. That works too. Got it? Okay, first grade, you're gonna need salt, flour, and water, okay? And I'm gonna show you the recipe in just a second on your video, okay? All right. Okay, boys and girls, so I sent your teacher a link to a book that I want you to watch first before you start this project. It's called Mouse Paint. It's about mixing colors. It talks about the three primary colors, which are red, blue, and yellow. And if you have all three of these colors, you can make any other color. Now, today we're going to be using two of them. We're going to be using blue and yellow. If you have them, if you don't, just use a green, or you can use a green marker, or you can use a green crayon. It works too. We're going to be using blue and yellow to make green for our Christmas tree. Now, if you use a paper plate, usually with these, there's a side that's really smooth, and then there's a side that's more rough. We want to paint the rough side, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over to the rough side, and this is the side I'm going to paint because the paint will stick better on that side. And if you do have paint, the thing you need to be aware of is blue. I call it a bossy color, because if you use too much of it, it takes over. If any of you have bossy friends, then you know when you play with them, they want to take over and do everything they want to do. Well, blue's the same way. So if you are using blue and yellow paint, you don't need a lot of blue. You just need a little bit, and you're going to make a little blob of blue. And then we're going to make a bigger blob of yellow. Okay, because if you use too much blue, it'll take over. And then we're just going to mix them together, and we're going to paint this whole back side of our plate. And you may get a little paint on your fingers, it's fine. You can see as they're mixing, they're turning green. Depending on how much blue and how much yellow you'll use, changes the green. If you use more blue, it's going to be a darker, more of a turquoisey color. If you use more yellow, it's going to be a brighter lime color green. And you're going to mix that around. You want to paint the whole back side of your paper. Okay? And this is pretty much all we're going to do this week. Next week, we're going to take it and we're going to turn it into a Christmas tree. And I'll show you more next week. We really want to get all the sides. If you just cut a circle out of a paper, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be this big. If you made it smaller, then that just means your Christmas tree will be smaller, and that is fine. And if you're at home and you want to do more than one of these, you can do more than one. You can make a couple of them. You might have some bare spots on that tree at home that needs ornaments. All right, you want to get all that white paint, and then you're going to let that dry, and next week we're going to turn it into a Christmas tree.